All right, you legend. I was told to come on here and just remind you of the power that you have right here in this time in your life by the fact that you're following through with authenticity, with your self-respect, with your dignity, with your moral code that you've been able to establish through your connection with God and with the higher realms who are really embodying you, really helping you to create this character, like a new life for yourself that is the embodiment of prosperity and of wealth. So you're here to establish a legacy for future generations, for your family, for yourself, for even the culture in your town. Some of you might be starting businesses in your communities or in on a state level or even like on a national level where you're going to be starting some kind of organizations which lead to a lot of prosperity and a lot of abundance for a lot of people by helping them really embody the authenticity of themselves and coming into a version of themselves that's actually in alignment with all areas of their life. So what God is telling me is that some people are living this like duality in their lives where it's like they have this mask or this illusion of what they present to the world through the things that they have. It could be like their nice their homes or their jobs or their status that they've created in society in some sort of way to other people to show that they have like their lives together or that they're successful or that they're really well off. And some of these people really are well off. But what God is telling me that you are being gifted with this at this time with the blessing of discernment where you're able to actually see whether or not the outside matches the inside of an individual. Because what I'm feeling is that there are a lot of people who will give up their moral codes. They will give up their values. They will allow themselves to live a shallow life. Like they'll do some very shady shit to get these illusions of abundance and of success that they can present to the world to show the world that they are in a place where they should be respected or they should be appreciated or that they've made it or that they have some kind of success. But God is really telling you at this time He is helping you learn at this time by your own progress, by your own journey of redeveloping yourself and holding to these divine characters, like these divine traits, these divine like character traits. What I'm hearing is someone who's authentic within themselves. And the authenticity is that you know that whatever wealth that you're going to create, whatever wealth that God is helping you create in your life, it's based on a foundation of integrity, of self-respect, of dignity. It's like God is showing you that the wealth that is coming into your life is based off of doing things in a way that is 100% transparent, like completely transparent, where you don't have any half-truths or lies, or there's not like any kind of deceit or manipulation that you have to employ in order to receive these riches, in order to receive this wealth, to receive this prosperity. Because again, God is showing you that there are people, there are two kinds of people out there: people who are able to receive status and finances and material things through struggle, through strain, through strife, through lowering their values, lowering their integrity, doing very shallow and shady shit, backstabbing people, betraying people, manipulating, deceiving, lying, using this very taker energy is what I'm feeling. There's that kind of people who get that success through those means. But then there are also the people who are able to establish success through very integrity, through a lot of integrity, honestly operating their businesses, operating their lives through a moral code where when they speak up, like you can feel the resonance within them. You can feel the energy within the people who are speaking up from this place of integrity. Because there's no, they don't have to like remember their lies. They don't have to kind of block out in their consciousness the terrible things they did to people in order to get to where they are. And that's the thing that you can't hide. At least that's the thing that God is showing that is the thing that God is showing you that people can't hide about themselves. The energy that they know within themselves that they have done in order to achieve the things that they have achieved. And God wants you to establish this legacy that you're building from a place of principle, from a place of value, from a place of integrity, from a place of dignity. The way you show up in the world, the way you treat people, the way you give back, the generosity that you have from your heart, the contribution that you make to the world is actually bettering the society as a whole, like the culture as a whole. Is you see through the illusion of whatever we're fed on a cultural level, and you see that all this stuff is just fed to us to make us or convince us that a certain way to live our lives will make us happy, make us fulfilled, make us prosperous. And you can see the illusion of a lot of people in your common society are trapped in this illusion that has been fed by them, by their governments, by by the companies that operate in their countries, by other authority figures that are out there. It doesn't even have to be like on a government level or like a capitalistic level. It can be as simple like as on a level within the family system is even what I'm hearing. Like what I'm okay. So what's coming through is that even in the culture that you're a part of, there could be this belief that the family system should operate in a specific way. There's some kind of like cultural ideation of how a family should operate, and you can see that the majority of people, of families out there, are operating in this way where they want to present the family unit that they have in a way to society that their family is functional, but like their family is actually really dysfunctional. And even to that level is like where you aren't gonna hold to any bullshit. Like you if there's dysfunction in the family, you're gonna like be able to call it out and speak about it. It's like what I'm seeing is that some of these families, or what society is told, is not to speak up about things that are happening within the family that are causing like so much turmoil and so much confusion and so much ill will, is even like what I'm hearing. That there's a lot of dysfunction within a lot of people's families, but no one's speaking about it. No one's speaking up about it, like what's really happening. No one's able to open up emotionally and authentically to speak up like, hey, look, if this is what's happening in the family, like this is not like the family. Oh, this is for someone about family. The family unit should operate in a certain way, and that's not true. The family unit can operate in any way that the family decides, but it's like being able to live the family, to live in alignment with what the family unit finds best fit for itself, not what it is that other people or what they present to other people will look good for that family unit. So because you're being so authentic, you're like ridding generations of dysfunction within families, because there's so many families out there who are trying to operate in a fashion that isn't in alignment with that family. So you're speaking up. Yeah, so that's what I'm feeling. Like you're speaking up about these kind of things. But God is making sure that when you're coming about it, you're coming about it from a place of integrity, of dignity. And this is like one of the things. It's like, since you are like a pattern breaker, since you are what it's like you're like generational curses. Like you're breaking generational curses, and a lot of people aren't happy about it. What I'm feeling is like there's some sort of there's some kind of power within your culture, in your society, within your government or your country, that wants to suppress the voice of the people in a way so that way the people remain in this. What I'm hearing is incapacitated. They're incapacitated from actually stepping out and challenging the cultural norm within that community, because it only benefits the people in power to keep that cultural the culture at a certain baseline, so that way they don't rise up against the government. And I'm not saying this is some kind of rebellion. You're not going that far. I don't think that any of you are really going that far. But what you're really doing is like you're speaking up against like what actually brings fulfillment to an individual, what brings fulfillment in life. That perhaps the shit that we're sold by our culture, by the mainstream idea, isn't actually bringing fulfillment for a lot of people. People are chasing a lot of things. It's like what I'm hearing is like chasing drugs, chasing sex, chasing materialism, chasing some sort of like power, but it's not power. What it is, it's like control. So people are like they want to control, and this could be control again in a family family dynamic. So maybe that's what it has to do with the family. Maybe there's some kind of control element in the family. Maybe like the paternal unit or the maternal unit, or just like the parental unit has a lot of control over the children in the family, and then it's like a lot of suppression or a lot of oppression, where they're really causing the children not to live their highest fulfillment or the highest excitement, or what the things that the children want to pursue that would actually bring the children happiness won't look good to the parents, or the parents like would feel ashamed for some reason. There's some kind of level of shame. Like like culture has had the parents believe that it would be shameful if their child were to pursue a certain endeavor, and the parents, out of fear, really try to steer their children away from pursuing their actual life fulfillment, their life purpose, because of the fear of being shamed by the other family units out there, the culture around them. So they don't support their children. They like suppress their children, is what I'm feeling. So that's like one of those like cultural things that you're breaking out of, because it's the illusion of it's like this fear. It's like a fear of judgment from society as a whole. But I feel like you're at a place right now where it's like I'm feeling like some of you might even be like black sheep energy, but not like black sheep like in a bad way. It's like you're like you're like the pattern breaker. You're like someone who's going against the norm, but like you're coming at it from a place of integrity and dignity and self-respect, that the things that you do, you understand that they're going to cause dissension because you're going against the grain. But like the way you're going against the grain, it's like God is backing you, and God is saying like, you are the person that has the power, who has the influence, who has the voice, who has the vision that can carry out God's purpose to help the world out, contribute to the world, give back to the world, add value to the world in a way that is out of integrity, out of authenticity, that isn't chasing all this other horse shit that the society is trying to tell you to chase, that will make you happy, that you can see in people's eyes. They're like dead inside because they're working at places that they don't love. They're in relationships because of the perceived like status, or the perceived what I'm hearing is like people are getting into relationships with people that they really don't love, but they're in the relationships because it looks good on paper. Like that kind of shit is what I'm feeling. Or they're at jobs, not because they love the job that they do, but it looks good on paper. They're pursuing careers that they really don't love because it looks good on paper. It looks good on paper. Yeah, so you're not a paper trader. That's what I'm hearing. Like, you're not a paper trader. You're not trading this fucking paper that people are pursuing, because you understand that the paper is it's all horseshit. Like it's nothing. It's an illusion. It's this illusion of trying to look good for someone or trying to impress people that really don't have any value or really hold any weight in your life. So you're not here to look good for like the cultural norm. You're not here to look good for people out there. You're here to speak up the truth and the integrity of like what it means to live a life that is in alignment with God and a spiritual basis, that you can receive the blessings. You can receive the abundance, the money, the wealth, the status, the all the like stuff the society says that you need, but you're coming at it from a place of integrity where you're authentically helping people. You're authentically growing in a way that helps other people and inspires other people to grow too. So that way they're not pursuing all this stuff that really doesn't bring them fulfillment. It's like really showing people by your own example how to tap in with what makes them happy, what makes them fulfilled, and setting that example out to the world. So understand that God is always going to come through. You have to, I wrote this down, so my writing's a little bad. It says, you don't have to forget your self-respect for the approval of people, or live a life that is against from not that, or live a life that's not on a spiritual basis. So what I'm feeling is that a lot of people, or there's a majority of people, and maybe even the culture that you're in, kind of disregard spirituality because they feel that spirituality is just going to get in the way of receiving the material gains and the status and the, you know, the perceived the stuff that looks good on paper to society. So they kind of discount spirituality because they're like, oh, well, if you have the spiritual basis, then you can't, you know, what I'm hearing is like, you got to step on some people's toes, or you got to like, you got to stab some people in the back in order to get what it is where you need to get to in life, or something like that. There's like some kind of bad reasoning that, or like psychology that has kind of been fed out there to a lot of people. So a lot of people are like going at trying to achieve success and status and fame and fortune and all that stuff from a place of being disingenuous, being like ruthless, but like ruthless in a very toxic way, a very toxic way. And God is like showing you like you can be ruthless for like God. You can be ruthless for spirituality. You can be fucking a savage. You can be a savage for God. And like that's what God is like really fashioned you to be. How to become a person that is a no-nonsense person, where if you see people who are operating from a place of lack of integrity or morals or values, like you're like, I don't need this. I don't like, there's too much out there. God is trying to show you there's too many people out there. There's too many people who are living abundantly, who are in alignment with authenticity and dignity and morality and respect and integrity, and also speak the truth of spirituality, that give the praise to God, who they give that give the glory to God. And I'm not even like a Christian or like a religious person, but these words are coming through because the truth is that all blessings come from God, like in or out of religion. And God is like saying that you as a person who is able to respect and actually give thanks and gratitude from the source from where all blessings come from, that's why you're able to receive all the stuff from God in a way that is going to be completely sustainable, completely like generous. It's like God is going to give to you generously, and you're going to be able to give back generously to society, to the culture. So wealth is coming in for you, but you're going to receive the whole package deal. That's the thing. Like, you want the whole package deal. You don't want to sacrifice your dignity or your respect to try to achieve these things. You don't need the approval of anybody. I feel like there's people out there who are doing very like low, very disrespectful things to themselves. No integrity. They're, oh God, there's just like ugly. There's a lot of like sad, like painful energy. Like the what I'm feeling is someone or people out there, they're doing things that like are really breaking them in their soul, and they're trying to deny that it's not affecting them, and they're trying to show up and save face for people's approval, for the approval of people who really are just as lost as them. So they're trying to chase the approval of people who don't have a spiritual basis, that don't have God in their lives, that are just seeking like really carnal desires, doing very dark things in order to like have this illusion. Like, again, looks good on paper, but the thing is that within themselves, it's like they're dead inside. They're really dead inside. So they have to kind of like consume, like the big consumers. And this is not just like consumers like buying stuff, but like could be like consumers like consuming substances, consuming people, even like consuming relationships, having to go through people to try to chase this feeling of feeling whole, which they don't find within themselves because they're mistreating themselves. They don't have the moral backing or the spiritual code or the values. They disvalue themselves. Like I even feel like people who are giving off their energy, like even like their sexual energy to like everybody, anything, everyone, and everything, but they don't see how sacred that is and how valuable that is, and they're just like just giving that out. So this could be even like for you if your culture is really based on really sells like sexuality out there and kind of makes people think that that is like a primary thing to focus on, even, which sexuality is a very beautiful thing that we have, but the way that it's kind of sold to us through society is from a very lower vibrational way. So you can see through this too. So you can see like people who are coming at life from a place of lust, from a place of like just like not what I'm hearing is like they're not exclusive. Like there's no exclusivity to how they give their energy and how they value their energy. So it's like they let anybody run through their energy. You know what I'm saying? And that is like what you can also see too. Like if there's people out there who are like they're in these places where it's like they're just like being absolutely manipulated by the culture to believe that a certain way to live their lives is going to be in alignment and bring them happiness and bring them fulfillment, and then they're going and doing these things and like they're achieving what it is that the culture says that like is good for them, but inside they're actually like decayed and they're not happy and they're sad because they're not valuing their energy and they're not exclusive. So God is saying that like you don't have to do all that stuff. Like listen to your heart, listen to your soul, listen to God, follow God, because He's going to show you again the values and the principles and the moral code that you can follow in order to receive all this blessings, all the wealth is coming in for you. Like God is saying like you're being blessed right now at this time because of the fact that you're holding to with your discipline, with your integrity, with your morals, with your standards. Like you have a standard for life, and it's like unacceptable to receive anything else. So this can even go to you if you relate to like maybe you see that there's like a lot of people who are out there like partying, like drinking, using drugs, things like that, and to the outside it looks like they're having fun, but what you see is that there's actually repercussions for all of that stuff, because it's like they're living a life that is really kind of like not based on the actual sustainable foundations of wealth. Because while like like drinking and drugs, they're not necessarily bad in and of themselves, it's like how they are used. And this can be a cultural thing too, where it's like a lot of like excess. Like what I'm getting is like excess. It's like they're taught to like use things in excess that really like devalue themselves, where it's like they're not really allowing their body to be a place of reverence, to be a place of like, yeah, like really just like loving yourself. It's like, dude, if you really, really love yourself, you wouldn't put poison into your body, is what I'm hearing. And again, it's not like drugs and alcohol are bad, but it's like the way that people are told to use them is what's bad. It's like it's sold to people like, oh, like this is like what fun is. This is what the enjoyment is. This is like how you let loose. This is how you have a good time. And people are out there chasing, like substances to try to have a good time. But their soul really knows that it's like, why are you poisoning me? Or like, why are you doing these things? Like, why do you need to have a good time by doing these like certain, by like living this lifestyle that is just like not valuing their energy, like not valuing who they are as a person. And this is very, very deep. This is on a much deeper basis that people are looking to actually confront. They don't want to see this stuff because they don't want to be different. They want to be accepted. They want the approval of people around them. And again, like a lot of these people who are doing these things and these groups or these friend groups or whatever it is that they're a part of, that engage in like these vices and these lower vibrational kind of like rituals. Oh man, I'm hearing like shame rituals even. So you could be like around, or you've known friend groups that like they pride themselves on the excess. They pride themselves on how much they can drink. They pride themselves on how much material things that they buy. They pride themselves even like on how much debt they're in, because for whatever reason it's like some kind of badge of honor. Like people make it a badge of honor to see how like shitty their lives can get. Like how shitty their lives can get. And you see that, and it's like, it's not entertaining to you. It's like, why would you want to fucking do that? Like, it makes no sense to you. It makes no sense to you. And maybe at one point in your life, it was hard for you to speak up about that, even though it made you feel uncomfortable. But it was just because no one else was speaking up about it. And it was like, you're taking a step back and you're like, dude, are we just like gonna fucking act like this shit isn't really making us like happy or really fulfilling to us? We're just gonna stand here and just like try to convince each other that like the excess consumption of this stuff is actually bringing us enjoyment, whenever you can see that it's just decaying us from the inside. Like what the and then eventually you stepped away. You just kind of like, okay, I'm stepping away from this stuff. And I feel like you could have lost a lot of friends. You could have lost a lot of relationships. You could have lost a lot of even like family. Like you could have even had a falling out with your family because like, you just went against the grain. You said like, this is not what's bringing me happiness. And I gotta operate out of integrity and authenticity of what I know for myself. If no one else is gonna be the example, I gotta be the fucking example here. I gotta be the adult in the room, right? I gotta be the adult in the room and say like, this shit has to stop. Like this is not, at least for me in my life. Like again, if other people are doing that stuff, that's fine. And this thing is just like a matter of you holding true to your authenticity and your integrity. And the hard thing is that because like you're going against the grain, because you're able to speak out against the culture and actually actually pose a question to the culture of whether or not this is actually bringing us authentically bringing us happiness. For a lot of people, it's not, but they will listen to your message and they will scoff at you. They'll be like, oh, you're just being like too much, or you're being extra, you're being, you're just like not, because you're not following the norm. Like you're not a part of the herd. You're not a sheep, and people have to like have the herd mentality, so that way they can like convince each other that the stuff they're doing is fulfilling, that it's making them happy, but it's not making them happy. They're living lives of like poverty is what I'm hearing. And God was also saying something about understanding what true wealth is. Like people are living in poverty that have a lot of material things, have a lot of money, have a lot of finances, have a lot of like this, again, like the status. People are living in poverty even with these things because they're dead on the inside. And it's like they traded their souls and their ethics and their morality and their like just like being a good person. They traded that for like these things. And you didn't. Like you're not, and you're that's why God's gonna give you the whole package deal. God's giving you the whole package deal. He's like, look, this is why you're a legend, because you're operating out of integrity, because you're operating from a good place, from a right place, and you're just saying like, you're just giving the finger up to like the culture, being like, all right, you guys can go do that horse shit. You can go and do whatever you want to do. You can go party. You can go consume. You can go out there and like have flings with everyone. You can do whatever the fuck you want. That's fine. That's cool. Everyone's entitled to their own life choices. But if I choose not to do it, you can't say that. Like, if you don't want me to say that the way you're living is wrong, then you can't fucking say the way that I'm living is wrong, right? So that's why you're speaking up. You're speaking up for what you know is true. If other people don't agree with it, that's fine, right? That is perfectly fine. But you need to have an actual, like, you're putting out there into the world like exactly what it is that you know is right for you, like that is right for you, and what you believe can create a culture of complete like fulfillment and complete happiness, and from a place where people actually are able to grow and not chase these hollow desires out there in the culture that they're being fed. It's like, fine, again, like people can go out there and chase it, and you understand like people are going to do it anyway. Like that's the thing. It's like almost like what I'm hearing is that when people are told that they can't do something, they want to do it more. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people who are operating out of that. It's like they're doing things because they want to be counterculture. But the thing is that they're not realizing that what they think is counterculture is just making them basic, you know? And these people are out there basic, and in their heads, they think that they're being like unique, that they're being different, and they're like something sensational. But it's like, it's not sensational. Like you're out there like fucking off your life, like with like people that really don't mean anything, that they're only there out for whatever it is that you have, or whatever they perceive that you have. They're out there for whatever they can get from you. They're out there for the ideation of like, oh, if I'm with, you know, this certain kind of group of people, or I'm living this certain kind of culture, or this certain kind of lifestyle, then in their heads they're thinking that the whole world is gonna like really like care for them, or like them, or perceive them as like some kind of status symbol, or sex symbol, or some kind of symbol of someone, like an idol, like idolize them. And the truth is, it's like they're no one's fucking idolizing them. Like the truth is, like no one is idolizing them, but they're in their heads that they feel that they're being idolized. And that's where you're kind of like stepping in. It's like, you're not here to be idolized. You're not here to be like respected. You don't want the attention. You don't want the like, you're not trying to have like any kind of power, any kind of influence. You're not trying to have like any of that stuff. You just want people to be free, happy, fulfilled in their lives. That's just it. That's just it. And it's like, the more detached you are from those things that people think will bring them happiness and fulfillment and a sense of power in their lives, it's like, the more detached you are from it, the more that God has given you all of those things. And you're like, God, I don't want these things. But God is like, I have to give you these things. So that way there is an example of someone who receives these things from a place that is rooted in properness, like in actual, what I'm hearing is like cleanliness, like in a clean way, like in a, and the message that you, the energy that you have and the message that you give, it's going to resonate with everybody's soul, is what I'm hearing. It's going to resonate on a soul level, but then in their minds, if they're not ready to receive the message, they will push back against it. They will push back against it if they're not ready to receive it, because if they're like so caught up in the illusion that is like cast upon them by society, they're not going to accept it, because then there's the fear of like having to change their identity to suit like something that's actually like beneficial to them, like actually bringing them happiness, you know? Now it's like I feel like there's people who have even built a whole career or built a whole identity on this illusion of like having these things that they got out of disingenuous ways. And now it's like, how are they going to pivot to, and how are they going to pivot, but also how are they going to undo all of the karma they built up, all of the bad karma that they built up in order to achieve those things. And it's just so heavy. There's a lot of people, it's just like so heavy, where it feels like it's impossible for them to get out of the lifestyle that they're living, because of like all of the emotions they had to suppress, all of the feelings they had to suppress, all the lies that had to be told, all of the shame that they don't want to face, all of the pain and the regret that they don't want to face. So they got to keep on pushing it back. So they got to keep on consuming more. They got to keep on, numbing themselves more, so they don't have to see what they really are, what they've really done to themselves, to people. And in order for them not to feel it, they have to reject the message and the energy that you bring forth, because it's just so triggering to them to have someone who's operating from a place of light, who's speaking God, who's speaking spirituality into the world, who's speaking from a place of like, hey, look, being a good person, doing things with integrity, like eliminating like all this manipulation, eliminating deceit, eliminating like lies and cheating and stealing and rage and frustration and resentment and bitterness and all that ugly stuff. Like, eliminating that from like your a person's life, and actually healing from any of the old wounding that may have occurred through living a life that might have been based on like no actual foundation. But it's like maybe you've gone through a lot of this stuff in your life, but you've healed from it because you realize that a lot of this stuff wasn't bringing you happiness. And that's why your voice is so powerful, because you do have an example through your own life of what doesn't really work. I feel like you've gone to a place like where you know now what it is that you want, by also experiencing a lot of time where it is that you know that you don't want. So that's why even though you can speak out against like a lot of this stuff, it's because you've been through it and you know it doesn't like actually bring fulfillment, and people are going to chase it anyway. Like there's always going to be people chasing it, but you understand it's like, hey, look, I'm not here to like help you out. Like if you want to go do that, shit, go fucking do it over there, like in the corner, like right where, like with other people who don't want to face themselves, who don't want to actually look inside themselves to see what it is actually triggering these behaviors that are causing them to live a life that is like so shallow and so lost and so hurt. If you don't, I mean, go out there with those people and you guys can go and like mingle all you want, you know, for until you guys die, you know, whatever you want to do, that's fucking fine. But don't come over here with your horse shit and coming over here and like trying to change this movement that God has for you, this legacy that you're building. Like stay over there with the muck, with the mire, with the dogs and the fleas and the pigs, you know, in the mud. Do all that stuff over there. Don't come over here and try to affect this beautiful thing that God has in store and plan for you into your life. Because where you are right now is like in a place where the foundations that you're building, the message that you're bringing to the culture and to society and to the people around you, it's just so empowering and so impactful. And God's going to see that, again, you do have the material blessings, that you do have the status, you do have the power, you do have the influence, you do have all that beautiful things. But it's like, because you're so detached from it, because you just want to speak up and say like, this is what I believe. This is what I believe. Everyone else can say what it is that they believe. That's fine too. You know, you don't want anybody to believe you. You don't want anyone to follow you. You don't want anybody to like, to even like agree with you. You're like, hey, look, it's not a matter of agreeing. It's just a matter of me being able to speak what it is that I believe in. Because I've been through times where I've personally learned, at least this is my life, you know, and it's your life is so beautiful. Your life is so divine. Your life is so important. Your life is so important right now at this time. So God is just like, again, saying, limit your exposure to people who aren't operating from a place where they put God first. They don't give reverence to God. They don't give like God the glory for the blessings that have come into their lives. People who are chasing like the carnal desires, people who are chasing like a lot of the worldly pleasures through means of disempowerment, where they're giving up their own moral code. They're giving up, like, they're selling themselves. They're shackling themselves to like these very dark energies in order to acquire these things. And the beautiful thing is that God's going to give you all these things, you know, that people are really striving really hard for, and they're like, you know, shackling themselves into like just like despair from a really dark place to get, but God's gonna give them to you, and you're just gonna be like, all right, thank you, you know, because you're gonna know how to use it. You know how to give back. You're gonna know how to really help other people like receive all that stuff that people are chasing from a very dark place. He's gonna give it to you, but like, because you came from a place of like the right way. You did it the right way. God is saying you're doing this the right way. So just that's the confirmation that God wants to give you, like, right now. You're doing the things the right way. And I know it may feel uncomfortable. It's because like what's really uncomfortable, and this was kind of hard for you maybe, and you may be not understanding this on a conscious level right now. It may be operating on an unconscious level, but it's like, it's so difficult for you because it's like you're a part of like the 1 or the 0.0001% in the world that thinks so differently that it's like, part of you might even question yourself, like, Jesus Christ, like, I'm over here like doing all of this stuff, but you feel like so like disconnected from everyone else in your culture, or a lot of people in your culture, because a lot of people are like chasing these things, and it's like you feel like the one that's like left out because you're not chasing those things. But you're not chasing those things because you know they don't really bring you fulfillment, or they don't add value to your life. And it just feels like you could feel like you're on a journey that feels a little bit lonely at times or alone at times. But the God is just like saying like you're not alone. Like the thing is that's why like all these blessings are coming into your life, so God can remind you that you're not alone. But it's because by you speaking out what is right in your life, you're attracting all that stuff. Like if you're saying like, hey, look, the finances, the beautiful, material things, the success, the power, the influence, all that stuff that people are chasing, it's like it's coming in to you because you don't want it, but it's coming into you because like God knows that you know how to actually use it in a way that's going to be able to affect the world in a positive way, a very powerful way, a very powerful way. And that's where you are at right now. But it's because you're speaking out to the universe. You're calling out to the universe to show you how good life can get. That you're not going to go out and sacrifice anything. Like you're not gonna ruin your reputation. You're not gonna lower your standards. You're not gonna to hurt yourself in an irreparable way, like hurt your spirit to try to get these things that people are chasing, because it's not worth it to you. That's what true wealth is, being able to have it all. You want the whole package deal. God's gonna give you the whole package deal. So you're calling in the wealth, like you're calling the wealth into your life. And it's like you're having non-negotiables. It's like if someone's trying to give you something, but there's like something on the back end that you have to give up that will like actually hurt your self-esteem, hurt your reputation, hurt your dignity, your respect, your morals, get you to do like very like shameful things, like getting you to do very shameful things for whatever it is they're trying to give you. It's like a no. It's like a fucking no. Like, why would I do that? Like, that's the energy that you're feeling. And you understand that you're gonna have, like, you want those things that are being offered to you, but not, it's like, they're like asking, do you want it? And you're like, I do, but not from you. Like kind of that kind of energy. It's like, you're looking for these things in the world. You're attracting these things into your life: happiness, fulfillment, success, influence, all that beautiful thing. But you're coming from a place where it's like you're very, very, very selective on how it's going to be able to come into you, for you. It has to feel right. You don't have, if your energy feels like it's going to be tied up, or you're going to be taken advantage of, or you're going to be disrespected, or you're going to be like in some way have to do something that's like shameful in order to acquire these things. It's like you're like, why would I want to do that? And you may see a lot of people around you who are doing like very, very like shallow things to acquire these things, and you're like, all right, well, that's cool, And again, it's like, the credit, like people are putting credit, like they're putting things on credit. They're getting things like now. They want things now, so they're like, I'll do anything. They'll do some very savage stuff to themselves in order to get things, so that way they can present themselves to the external world as like some kind of person that has their life together, or that they have made it, or they're successful. But when it comes down to it, that stuff is like, they have to pay it back, and they're gonna have to pay that back in interest. Like there's a debt they're gonna have to pay for doing the things that they do. Like there's no way around it. Like whatever you put out is what you get back. So this can go back to like people who like betrayed, who betray, who manipulate, who deceive, who lie, who steal. Like all that stuff is like all karma is coming back like to the person that does that. And you may have experience with this, like where you've gotten yourself into situations where like you have had the repercussions of your actions, because that's what's going to happen. You have repercussions. Certain actions, certain causes have certain effects, and that's why you're like, look, I ain't messing with that at all. Like if there's something that is gonna ultimately put like you on, like you're buying something on credit from the universe, or from life, you're buying it with credit. You understand you're gonna have to pay that back one day plus interest. You're like, why would I want to do that? Like why am I gonna do that? So and that's the beautiful thing. God's like, he's like, hey, look, you don't got to do that. you're gonna be able to buy everything in cash, like just outright in cash. Like that is the energy that you have. Like I'm someone that doesn't buy shit on credit. Like I buy things in cash because of the moral code that I have, because of the integrity I have, because I'm showing up in a way where I'm actually giving reverence to God. So that way He can give you the finances, He can give you the material things, He can give you the abundance, He can give you the prosperity to do these things as an example, so that way you can set for other people of what it is to actually have integrity for yourself, showing up in a way that is authentic in this life. So a lot of stuff came through right there, but that's really it. God just wanted to let you know that you're someone who's going to leave a legacy in this world because of what you say, how you show up in the world, and because you're actually holding true to your value and your standards. You're not lowering your integrity for like these sudden hits, these quick hits of things that aren't fulfilling ultimately, because the way they're acquired is through like a lot of like just dark ways. And yeah, whatever. Like I ain't doing that. You're not doing that. Like God knows you're not doing that. And it could be very difficult, because like part of you like maybe feels like left out, and you want to be we do want to be approved. Like we do want to have some kind of approval and acceptance, and even you want to have even like some sense of like appreciation or respect, for the work that you do. Like you want that, but what you realize is that you want it from the right people. You don't want to impress people who are fake. Like you're not here to. It's like, why would you want the approval of people who are fake, who are living this disingenuous life where they're not whole, like, and they're lost? It's like, why would I want to impress the lost people? People in that corner over there doing that, the all that stuff, and it's like, why would I want to impress those people? Like those people are like, there's no value they can add to your life. There's no value they can add to your life in that way. If they're going to get you to go down like a road that is just so gross, it's like, why would you want to do that? And that's what you're feeling right now, and that's what God kind of is helping you like understand. Is like you're able to speak about this, like, and you're able to speak about this. So I think that's all I got for you guys right now. You're building your wealth from a place of integrity, of dignity, of respect. So be very vocal about that, and deny, like what I'm hearing is even like reject, like you're rejecting anything that isn't suitable to you. So people may feel like very rejected by you and your energy right now, but it's not because that you're rejecting them as a person. You're rejecting the energies that they are embodying, like the entities that are attached to them. Like what I'm hearing is like shame, remorse, guilt, manipulation, deceit, like all those kind of like, there's like these entities that a lot of people are carrying with them through life, and they're trying to get you to engage with those energies. And you're like, you can see right through it. You can feel the energy coming off of someone. Again, whether or not they're operating out of integrity or they're operating from a place that's like lower vibration, and you're like, no, like I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be with you, in whatever way that is, whether it be like in an employment way or a relationship way or like a friend, like a social way. It's like you're not going to be with these people, because it's like you understand that it's like a disease. It's like a spiritual disease a lot of these people have. And again, you wish the best for all these people who are out there like running and gunning and doing this like this very dark stuff, and they are filled with shame and filled with guilt and filled with hurt and filled with pain, and they're out there projecting all of their own unhealed trauma and wounding into the world, and they're trying to get other people to like trauma bond with them and all stuff. Like you wish them the best, and you want them to heal. You want them to heal. You want them to get better. Like you wish them well, but you're not going to go out there and get yourself in a pickle by living the life that they feel is fit, because you understand that it's not fit. It's unfit. It's very unfit. These people are living very unfit lives, and you can be very vocal about it. It's like, hey, look, I'm saying this not to discount you as a person, because like you're very valuable in and of yourself because you're a divine being. But the shit that you're doing, honestly, that's what I'm talking against. I'm not gonna do that stuff. You can do that. Like, it's fine. I'm not, again, everyone's entitled to do whatever they want. If you want to do that, that's fucking fine. I don't have to do that, and I'm not gonna do that. You choose that, that's fine. I'm not gonna, because these are the standards that I have for myself. I'm not over here like speaking down to you as a person because you're choosing that way of life. What I'm doing is I'm speaking up to myself about what it is that I'm choosing for myself and not to do, or what to do and what to follow. And that's just it, you know? Maybe people will like, you know, eventually come around and like follow you on your life, but you just know like what is right for you. And it's not even saying that your life is the quote unquote right way to live. It's a way to live. And you understand that too, that there's many ways to live life, but you know what makes you feel fulfilled. You know what makes you feel happy. You know what makes you feel inspired. You know what makes you feel influenced by life. So that's what you are putting out to the world. That's what you're putting out to the world. And anything else that doesn't align with that path that you're on, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to you. It's irrelevant to you. And what I'm hearing is even that God might be telling you right now, or making you feel even that your focus needs to be on affecting a change for the people who are in alignment with a path that is of integrity, of dignity, of respect. And you do ultimately by just having this place of neutrality. Like, you're not wishing good, you're not wishing harm, you're not wishing anything. You're just only wishing that people find the path that is most in alignment with them, whatever that path is. By holding true to that, you understand that God will provide. God will provide. So God's going to provide for you. God's going to give you everything you desire, plus more. And you're going to see that as you keep going along through your life, there's going to be more opportunities God's going to give you, like more blessings, more abundance, more prosperity. And he's going to see like, how are you going to use it? How are you using this stuff? And how are you going to allocate it? How are you going to give back? How are you going to create something that is powerful to the culture, powerful and inspirational to the people around you? How are you going to do that? What are you doing to do that? And you're going to see to it that you have a proper use of God's gifts that he's given to you. So keep on keeping on, guys. I love you. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, to this video, and I'll catch you here in the next one.